introduction. Good morning to all. Today the class is about difference between primary and permanent dentition. And in this class today we are going to discuss these topics under these following headings. So to begin with the introductions, in order to know about the difference between the primary and permanent dentition in clinical aspects, you have to know about the difference between primary and permanent teeth. As we are seeing the tooth structure of both primary and permanent, the eruption sequence and the crown size, everything are different when compared to that of the permanent teeth. And when we are when you are going to do any procedure, that is, for example, if you are going to do any cavity preparation for primary teeth, means that the tooth preparation for the primary teeth is different to that of the permanent dentition. And also when you are doing access cavity preparation, also the cavity access opening for the primary teeth is different to that of the permanent teeth. So to do the procedure correctly in the clinical office, first you have to know about the difference between primary and permanent dentitions. First, we will see about the how many teeth that are present in the present for primary dentitions. See here in the picture for primary teeth, primary dentition that there will be 20 teeth will be present, but for permanent dentition that there will be 32 teeth. The name of the teeth, if you are seeing in the picture, means in the above picture, if you are seeing the first two teeth which are present nearer to the midlines are central incisor, and behind to it there will be lateral incisor, and next to the third teeth will be lateral incisors, and molars will be present. And here in primary dentition that there are not premolars won't be present, but for the but in permanent dentition, the premolars will be present. This is the main difference between the teeth present between primary and permanent dentitions. And here in permanent dentition, if you are seeing, means that there will be totally 32 teeth. That is, other than the central incisor, lateral incisor, and canine, two premolars will be present, and first molar, second molar, and third molar will be present. And next, moving on to the eruption sequence of primary and permanent teeth. Now, the beginning of the eruption of the primary teeth will begin from 6 months to 5 years. The total eruption sequence of the primary teeth will get completed. First, if you are seeing the eruption sequence of the central incisor, that is upper central incisor usually begin to erupt prior than that of the lower incisor. So it will usually erupt in the 6 to 12 months of age, and next the lateral incisor will erupt in the month of 9 to 13 months of age. And for lower central incisor, if you are seeing, means it will erupt in the 6 to 10 months of age, and lateral incisor will erupt the duration of 10 to 16 months of age. And next to these teeth, the next teeth with erupt in the oral cavity is first molar, and after that only the canine will erupt, and at last the second molar will get erupted into the oral cavity. And all the teeth will erupt in the oral cavity within the age period of 2.5 to 3 years of age. And how the root completion of this teeth will take place, means it will if you are seeing in primary dentition, means if it erupt, if the teeth get erupted in the oral cavity by means of 6 months of age, means the root completion will be completed within 1.5 years of age. That is, whenever you are seeing in the oral cavity of any tooth, that is either central incisor, lateral incisor, canine, first molar, and second molar. If it is erupt in the, for example, if central incisor is erupt in the 6 months of age, means normally root completion will completed by means of 1.5 years of age. So this is the main eruption sequence for the primary teeth. And moving on to the eruption sequence for the permanent dentitions. Here, normally the lower central incisor will get erupted first when compared to that of the permanent incisors. And here the eruption age of this teeth is 6 to 7 years of age. And similarly, in this age itself, the first molar will get erupted into the oral cavity. And here, if you are seeing, means here also the root almost all the teeth will get erupted in the oral cavity by means of 10 to 12 years of age. And The second molar is the one which erupt in the age groups of 12 to 13 years of age, and the last teeth which erupt into the oral cavity is third molar at the age of 17 to 21 years of age. So here, if you are seeing in permanent dentition, if you are seeing means when compared to primary dentition, here how the root completion of this teeth will take place means in primary dentitions, if you are seeing if the teeth erupted in the oral cavity 1 year of age means within 1.5 years the root completion will completed. But for permanent dentitions, if the teeth get erupted in the oral cavity of 6 years of age means normally it will take 3 months for the root, 3 years to for the completion of root will take place. So let us consider for example of central incisa. Central incisa get erupted into the oral cavity 6 to 7 years of age means how the root completion of these teeth when it will get completed means that is within 9 to 10 years of age the root completion of these teeth will get completed. So this is the difference between the eruption sequence of primary and permanent dentitions. And next, moving on to the crown-wise difference between the primary and permanent dentitions. Normally, when you are seeing the size of the crown of the primary and permanent teeth means here usually the teeth when compared to that of the permanent dentitions, the size of the primary teeth will be less when compared to that of the permanent dentition. But there is exception for first molar, that is first primary molar. Here the tooth is these teeth does not resemble any of the teeth of the permanent teeth. And here if you are seeing the crown portion means it is more bulbous when compared to that of the other molars which are present in the oral cavity. And if you are seeing in this picture means normally for primary the mesodistal width will be more when compared to that of the labiolingual width, and the height of the cervical occlusal height also it will be smaller when compared to that of the permanent teeth. And here next moving on to the difference between the color-wise difference between the primary and the permanent teeth. Here if you are seeing in the picture, that is the first image. Here if you are seeing means the color of the primary teeth, here it is milkish white in color. Why it look like a milkish white in color means here the refractive index for this teeth is 1, which is same that of the refractive index of the milk teeth. So it look like white in color, but for permanent teeth the color will be yellowish in colors. Next, moving on to the size-wise difference between the primary and permanent dentition teeth means if you are seeing the size already I show in picture that the size of the permanent teeth, you see in the picture that the crown is very small when compared to that of the permanent. So automatically the permanent teeth, the crown size will be very bigger when compared to that of the primary dentitions. And as I told, the teeth will be in cervico-incisal length of the permanent dentition will be very more when compared to that of the primary dentition. So if you are seeing the size and shape of the primary dentition, that is in the incisor region means the shape will look like for the incisor more in cup-like shape, and but for molar it will look like a squat appearance. It will be look like. Then that's all the difference between the crown-wise difference between the primary and permanent dentition. Next, when you are the demarcation between the crown and the root portion in that region, if you are seeing, you will see one line running between the crown and the root portion, that is cervical constructions. When you are seeing for the primary teeth, it is more, it is narrower when compared to that of the permanent teeth. And here also, if you are seeing in the diagram, means the cervical ridge is more prominent for the primary teeth when compared to that of the permanent teeth. And when you are seeing in the third image, if you are seeing means there you can able to see the incisal edge of the teeth is more flatter when compared to that of the fourth picture. You will see some demarcation present in the lower teeth. So usually these features does not present in the primary dentition, but it will be exhibited in the permanent dentitions. And these are the main round difference for the primary and the permanent dentitions. And the demarcation which I told you that you are seeing in the fourth picture is a mammalians that will be exhibited only in the permanent dentition. So these are the main difference crown wise difference for the primary and the permanent dentitions. Next, the special features, if you are seeing in incisa, the crown that the widthwise, already I told to you that the usually the mesodistal width of the primary teeth is wider when compared to that of the permanent teeth. But for permanent teeth, usually the cervico-incisal height will be very longer when compared to that of the permanent teeth. Primary teeth, sorry for primary teeth. And if you are seeing the overall shape of the primary teeth, it will be look more conical and pointed, and compared to that of the permanent teeth, it will be less conical and pointed. Can able to appreciate these features in the picture which I shown below. That is here if you see in the picture, it will the primary teeth it resemble like a cone only, but for permanent teeth, if you are seeing, means it is less conical when compared to that of the permanent. Next, moving on to the shape wise difference which you see more in the molars. I already told you that the primary first molar does not resemble any of the teeth of the permanent, and the more prominent feature which you exhibit in the primary first molar is it will be more bulbous and well shaped when compared to that of the permanent first molar. It is less constricted in the neck wise only, and the occlusal table. Occlusal table here, if you are seeing in the molars, is very narrower, but for the permanent teeth, it is more broader. And the contact areas of the primary teeth, if you are seeing, means here the enamel rods usually runs for primary teeth it will run occlusally, but for permanent teeth will run towards gingival. So the contact area for the primary teeth will be more broader and flatter, and it will be present in the gingival only, but for permanent teeth it will be narrower and the contact area will be more prominent and present towards the occlusal surface only. And here, if you are seeing in occlusal plane, you are seeing in primary teeth, it is more flat, and for permanent teeth, it will be more curved. And the grooves which are present in the primary teeth, if you are, you can able to see in the second picture, the grooves, there will be more grooves present in the primary teeth when compared to that of the permanent teeth. And the number of cuspid difference between the primary and permanent teeth. When you are seeing for upper first molar, means usually that there will be 3 cusps will be present, but for permanent teeth, 3 cusps will be present, but 1 accessory cusp will be present. Lingually, lingually will be present. For upper second molar, usually 4 cusps will be present, but for permanent teeth also same only 4 cusps will be present. And for lower first molar, if you are seeing here, means for primary lower first molar, usually 4 cusps will be present, but for permanent 5 cusps will be present. Usually in permanent molar, extra cusp, that is the smallest cusp will be present in the distal side. Distally, there will be very small cusp will be present. That is a 5th cusp, but that cusp won't present in the primary first molar. In lower second molar also, here there will be 5 cusp will be present, but for permanent first molar, 4 cusp only usually present. And these lower second deciduous first molar, it will resemble similar to that of the permanent first molar. So whatever the cusp you are seeing in the first permanent molar, that's the same cusp will be present in the lower second molar. That is, we can able to see mesial cusp, mesiobuccal cusp, distobuccal cusp, and the central cusp, and lingually you can able to see distolingual and mesiolingual cusp. These are the cusps present in the lower second primary molar as well as in the permanent first molar. Next, moving on to the difference, that is a root-wise difference between the primary and permanent teeth. If you are seeing here, the root-wise difference between the primary and permanent teeth means, see the picture which is present below I shown here. If you are seeing here the root, in the picture you can able to see that the root of the primary teeth is more longer and slender when compared to that of the permanent teeth. In permanent tooth, that is a picture B. If you are seeing that, means the root will be very shorter and bulkier in nature. And with the here also, if you are seeing here, means it is more narrower when compared to that of the permanent teeth. Permanent teeth, it will look more broader. And also the trunk here, if you are able to see, mean the bifurcation seen more towards occlusal region only. So the trunk here will be very smaller when, but for permanent teeth it will be more larger. Next, the flaring of the permanent teeth here, if you are see means it will be flared out more markedly. Why is flared out more markedly in primary teeth means because of for the accommodation of permanent tooth, but the root is more flared out when compared to that of the permanent teeth. But in permanent teeth, usually the flaring will be absent, and here. Next, moving on to the resorption difference between the primary and permanent teeth. Here, the primary teeth will undergo physiological root resorption, but for permanent teeth it will be absent. And next, moving on to the difference between the pulpal difference. If in the picture you can able to see the pulpons of the primary teeth, that pulpons and the pulp chamber of the primary teeth will be present more larger when compared to that of the primary teeth. But usually the mesial pulpon will be present more closer towards occlusal surface when compared to that of the permanent teeth. So when you are doing access opening for primary teeth, primary first molar means you have to you have to be more conscious when you are doing access opening in access opening or cavity preparation for primary first molar. When you are doing cavity preparation for primary first molar means you have to remove only 1 mm thickness of the tooth surface. Otherwise, you will end up in opening of the pulpal floor of the primary teeth. So these points you have to remember when you are doing access opening for primary teeth. Next, here accessory canals will be usually in primary teeth there will be no accessory canals will be present. If you are seeing in the pulpal chamber floor means it will be more porous when compared to that of the permanent teeth. But for permanent teeth in the apical region that there will be numerous amount of accessory canals will be present. So here the infection of the primary teeth will spread from the pulpal floor towards the percussion area, but for permanent teeth, the infection directly get entered towards the apical region. So when you are writing any diagnosis for the primary teeth, if you are seeing any infection or pathological condition in the you can able to see in the primary teeth mostly in the pulpal region when compared to that of the apical region. But for permanent teeth, the infection directly get entered into the apical region. So there you can able to appreciate the infection or any condition only in the apical area only when compared to that of the primary dentition. The apical foramen will be less constructed for primary teeth, but for permanent teeth it is more constructed. Next, moving on to the difference between the enamel, that is thickness of the enamel, how much amount of thickness will be present in the primary and permanent teeth. Usually for primary teeth, it will be very thinner of 1 mm will be present, but for permanent teeth, it will be 2 to 3 mm. And the direction of the enamel rod here, it will be directed occlusally, but for permanent teeth, it will be directed apically. And that you can able to see the direction of enamel rods in the picture. In the first picture, you can able to see the direction of enamel rods. It's running towards occlusally, but for permanent teeth, it is oriented towards apically. And next, the difference which is seen in the primary and permanent dentition is the incremental lines. Incremental lines for primary teeth. For primary teeth, it will be less when compared to that of the permanent teeth. So here that would be less. The primary teeth is less mineralized when compared to that of the permanent teeth. Permanent teeth is highly mineralized and it is more prismatic. So here the clinical importance related to this point is when you are doing any etching, when you are doing composite restoration for permanent primary or permanent dentition means since here less mineralized and the primary teeth has more amount of aprismatic enamels, you have to do more of you have to increase the curing time for the permanent teeth, primary teeth. But for permanent teeth, you will require only less amount of curing time than that of the primary teeth. Then moving on to the dentin difference between the dentin, the thickness of the dentin difference between the primary and permanent teeth. In primary teeth, in the pulpal wall, there will be more amount thickness of the thickness of dentin for the in the pulpal wall for primary teeth is more when compared to that of the permanent. But permanent teeth, when you are in the roof, the pulpal roof area, there will be more amount of dentin will be present. And here also, the next difference is the dentinal tubules. The picture you can able to appreciate that the dentinal tubules are less regular in arrangement for primary teeth when compared to that of the permanent teeth. It will be more regular in arrangement. That it is arranged more properly for the permanent teeth when compared to that of the primary teeth. Next, the intercrotal dentin formation is usually absent in primary teeth, but it will be present more in permanent teeth. Next, moving on to the blood supply for primary and permanent teeth, that there will be more abundant blood supply present in the permanent primary teeth when compared to for permanent teeth, it will be less reduced blood supply only usually present. So when you are opening any access cavity preparation, access opening, if you are doing in primary teeth, or if you are removing any pulp poly from the from primary teeth, means you can able to appreciate more amount of bleeding in that patients. In that condition, you should not get fear. It is normal only since in that teeth you are getting adequate amount, more amount of blood surface. That will be enormous amount of blood you can able to see in that regions. So this is a clinical importance point you have to remember when you are doing preparation preparation and the point related to blood supply. And next, when you are seeing in primary teeth, the nerve supply will be less densely innervated when compared to that of the permanent teeth. But usually the child used to cry when you are doing any procedure, even though that will be less nerve supply for primary teeth and compared to that of the permanent teeth. The child used to cry mostly because of the fear and anxious towards the dental clinic only, not because of the you should not think that you did not given the LA properly towards the patients. So next, moving on to the cementum thickness between the primary and permanent teeth. Usually the cementum thickness will be very less for primary teeth when compared to that of the permanent teeth. Next, moving on to the mineral content difference between the primary teeth. For primary teeth, it is less mineralized, but for permanent teeth, it is more mineralized. And next, moving on to the difference between neonatal line difference for primary and permanent teeth. Here in the picture, you can able to see the neonatal line. That is one dark line that is running in the histological picture. That is a neonatal line. And these line will be usually present in all primary teeth, but for permanent teeth, it usually it should not be. It won't be present, but for permanent first molar only, the neonatal line will be present.